welcome to another great episode of Delight in Fright. We have Kat and myself, Luna, in the house, as well as Chris Shern, who has worked on movies such as Evil Lurks, Love Me Tender, Three Slices of Life, and Step One. Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic. Are you trying to stay warm with all that cold weather you got going on?
Yeah. I'm definitely staying bundled up because Illinois is the time of the year where you don't want to go anywhere.
Right.
Rather do podcasts with you, lovely ladies. So let's do
Yay.
it.
Thank you. Um, hello to Dan. Hi, Dan. Thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, we have Chris in the house. Another Chris. We have an army of Chris's now. Now we can take over the world, right,
Yeah.
Chris's?
Ah, there's a lot of Chris. We're gonna go up against the Chris's with the K.
That's funny. Hello, Dan says hello, Luna and Kat and Chris. It's nice to see all of you. It's nice to have you here watching. So we have a fantastic movie that we're going to discuss, Evil Lurks. It was great. Without talking too much about it, I'm gonna show the trailer so you guys can see a little bit of what we're going to discuss. If you have not seen it, please go ahead and go watch it for yourself because it's just fantastic. All right, let me roll it.
Your arrow shiny and sharp, you boldly shot in the dark, singing like a meadowlark. You drew back your bow, your arrow flew too soon under a blood
Bell. Yay!
That's a beautiful song. I love that song.
Yes, this fantastic singer-songwriter that I've known for 16 years now, Steph Yeager. She's from Montana. Because I'm also a musician and producer, engineer, and make music and all that good stuff. So yeah, I've known her for a long time. So I worked on her first solo album. So I called her up and I was like, hey, you think you can do like some acapella something for this crazy psychedelic horror movie I'm making? And she came. I gave her the premise, and then she put that all together. She used all the 5 different vocal setups, and then she created. She wrote the lyrics, and because I told her I wanted something beautiful but haunting, and it happens within the chaos of things that's happening in the movie. So yeah, I really like that song. So when we did, because we have another trailer that's like 3.5 minutes, which is absurd. So we did this 90-second trailer, and I wanted to use that track for that. So yeah, Steph Yeager, she's awesome. So big shout out to her.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was really fun. I will say, Bill, if you're watching this, the demonic stuff did not freak me out. Nothing in this movie freaked me out except for Bill's character. He was just the dirtiest, perviest old man. And that just, yeah, his character just creeped me out the most. you know, demons have nothing on that creepy guy mode. I was like, ooh, I was like, Bill, no, she's a child.
And the tongue thing, no. I can't do it.
Okay, so if you guys want to hear the story about the tongue thing,
Yes, we
Bill,
want to
and
hear the
you,
tongue.
honestly, the reason why I'm here is because of him, and he introduced me to you guys, and he set this up. So I'm super grateful for that man. He's a fantastic dude,
Yes.
and he will also be in my
We
next.
love Bill.
Yeah,
We
Bill
love
is the
him.
greatest. Yeah, actually, we actually had a conversation. We actually was on the phone. We was actually having a conversation last night, talking about different things and stuff. So yeah, he's a great dude. But when he joined the cast, because he was a replacement for another guy who's a little bit, he was like a little bit bigger, and he was kind of more creepier. And with Bill, he is creepy in this movie, but he's awkward and he's funny. But on the other side, yeah, he kind of have a thing for a 15-year-old, which is not right. So, so you add those elements. But one thing about Bill, because he grew up in he pretty much, he was an improv guy. So he was in comedy and doing that stuff. So he did a lot of improv. So the awesome thing about working with Bill is you give him a premise and you kind of give him the lines and stuff, but then Bill will kind of create his own energy. So when we was working on the scenes in the movie and we were shooting, he started doing this stuff. I'm like, wait, what are you doing? So I don't know, I just felt like he needed to do that, and I just like keep doing that. So he kept doing it because it wasn't something that we like. Hey, dude, Bill just created the energy, and it was just that subtlety of the tongue thing, the yeah, like that, because it was so long that we shot it. He just did it, and then he freaked me. I'm like, whoa, what was that?
Was the whole cast freaked out?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it was. Yeah, everybody was like, "Whoa!" Everybody was like, "Wow, that was interesting." So for him to like bring that to the table, that was all Bill. So obviously, certain edits that I did, I kind of made things absurd, and then also I was like, "Hey, throw the tongue thing in right there." So yeah, Bill created Rich. That's the character's name, and because when we was all doing auditions, it was a bunch of guys who were just like dirty, creepy, like, hey, little girl, you want, and the audition was really kind of like cliche and just really just, it was bothering me. And then when Bill did his, he was kind of like, hey, because, Bill like, hi, hey, do you want some milk? He wasn't like, you want some milk, little girl? He was just kind of, he's, man, it's kind of messed up to say. He was still like a nice guy, but he was just still creepy at the same time. But he was awkward as well.
All the
But
best psychos are, aren't they?
yeah, it was. I mean, it was. I like Bill because he didn't. There was a creepiness to him, but it was also just like he just had, I wanted it's weird because I wanted it to be awkward and kind of funny and comical, but on the other side still disturbing, but not to the point, where he was just kind of like just slimy and whatever. I mean, he was still, I don't know, because the movie is a trippy movie, so you kind of want to add those. I mean, like when you see him play, he got the record player drinking his shot, he was like, hey, I'm hanging out, working on the computer, drinking my wine, and then, things started happening within that time. So I don't know. But yeah, Bill's the best. But yeah, he's the creator of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really quick, we have Crazy Rock Film saying, "What's up, Mr. Bill D. Russell?" Oh, mad love pouring in already for everybody in the house.
Hello.
So I
I'm,
want
I'm
to,
I'm puppeting Bill, the puppet master.
you guys are crack me up.
Yeah, Bill is a guy who could be in a movie for like 8 minutes and make an impact. Like, because he had his scene in the Puppet Master movie, and he got this cult fan base. Like, he's like, yo man, I love you in that movie. He's like, yeah, cool. I was in there for like 3 minutes, but it worked out. So
Yeah. So I want is going back to a little bit about Bill's character, that scene with the eyeball with the prosthetics, that was super cool. How did you guys make that, and how long did it take for the prosthetic to be
yeah,
put on?
yeah. When it comes to like, it's interesting because you have this scene that's about 8, 10 seconds long, and then you do it, and then boom, it happens. But then you look at the process, that's like, I would say maybe out, because we had two people working on it. It was probably between probably an hour and a half between two people kind of putting it all together. So it was definitely over an hour to kind of piece that all together. Like liquid latex and blood and different things. And yeah, it was pretty, big shout out to Dre Boyd who really helped with a lot with the makeup stuff in that scene. So he helped us out a lot. And Shay, she did a lot of the makeup. She did a lot of the for Shush Man with the fingers and all that stuff. She's awesome. So yeah. So yeah, we had like a little makeup effects team to help that out. And that was super important for us to kind of keep that practical the best way we can. But you know what happens after you see it and then what he says. So you just like, it's funny. Like, this guy, something's happening to him, and then he still kind of put a joke to it. So yeah, that's Bill for you.
Yeah, what's the line that I love here? You need to relax and stop asking me to kill your parents. What? I was just like, what? Like every day, hey, can you kill my parents today?
Yeah, just like, so seriously, someone just come up to you and say, "Hey, I need you to give up." Right? You're like, "What?" Like, and you're just like with Bill, like, "What? Kill your parents?" Like, what are you supposed to say? "Oh, I don't know, man. I'm busy next Thursday, so let me check my Google Calendar." I don't know how you answer a question like that, but yeah, but yeah, he didn't know. So yeah, the girl he was fancying over, she was pretty dark, so that didn't help the situation.
How did you guys come up with this concept of like, hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and it uncovering like these gateways to all these different like maybe demonic entities or whatever was coming through? How did you guys create this concept? It's a great concept, by the way, Chris.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So me and my wife went to a hypnotherapy, like a hypno. It wasn't like a hypnotherapy session. It was like a big thing. These guys was like, saying I can, it was like in a theater, more of a theatrical aspect where you get a group of people, hypnotize them, and then someone gets up and do strange things and people laugh and all this stuff like that. So it was cool. And it's funny because the guy was, it was a pretty big venue. So the guy was like, "I need volunteers," and then obviously I was like, I'll raise my hand. They like, "Hey, you come up here." So they got like about 7, 8 people on the stage, and then it was pretty much like, it was kind of like the beginning of Evil Lurks, where there was a red light and they was telling us to focus on the red light and then close your eyes, pretend you're on the beach, pretend it's cold on the beach. Here's the thing about hypnotherapy to me. It's more about the person who's getting hypnotized, and more about it's more about them loosening up and opening up their mind. The person, the hypnotherapist, he or she is guiding that person. And hopefully they can kind of put themselves in that place. Because as the guy was doing it, he was tapping people. All right, you're not, all right, nope, you go back, sit down. Because people wasn't locked in. I'm intrigued by that stuff anyway. I do research, and I'm intrigued by hypnotherapy before we even wrote this movie. So I was kind of locked in my place. I was on a beach, and then I felt, they said pretend, feel like it's cold. Then I felt cold. So it's just a state of mind, and that hypnotherapist is guiding you to open up things and unlock things visualize things, and also put yourself in different places. If you're going back into your past and you're going through trouble, there's many elements of therapy, but it's kind of the same thing as you're trying to find a sense of healing, find a sense of understanding these things that happen to you. And then, yeah, just doing simple research on people getting hypnotized or people just kind of putting themselves in a relaxed state. But unfortunately, Harold decided he needed to go into the hallways of Kimberly's mind and unlock some things that I don't think she really wanted as much. She wanted them unlocked, but he was in a place where he had to do certain things to really open things up and take it to an even darker place. She's already was in a darker place, but the supernatural element kind of enhanced all of that with him being possessed, and then with him just kind of being, he has a puppet master, Shish Master Puppet Master kind of guided him to take over this person's, troubled soul, because that's what the Shish Man is about. He's about grabbing troubled souls and adding more pain to it. So focus on the red light.
Definitely, I loved it. It was definitely a lot to think about.
Thank you
I
so
love
much.
movies that make you think, right?
Thank
Like,
you.
was the therapist help her unlock these things, or is he actually the bad guy? It's up to the viewer to decide. I
Yeah,
love that it's all not spelled out for them.
yeah. Honestly, the movie's very, we don't want to give much away because there's twists and turns, but it's very subjective. I've had people ask me the first 5 minutes of the movie, like, was she already in a state of hypnosis? Like, what was going on? Like, it was like, because there's a lot of, if you guys end up watching it again, there's a lot of things that's we said what's lurking in the shadows, and that whole cliche of what's lurking. There was actually things lurking in the shadows. There was actually things where he snapped his fingers, and then they was in another element of a bar. And if you really look at the door, if you look at the doors, there's glimpse of pictures of Kimberly, played by Amanda Winston, awesomely. She's in these doors hypnotized, and if you really look closely, you can see that the reflection of her being hypnotized when she clicks into the other bar
Nice.
from the bar
I
scene.
love little extra
Yeah,
Easter eggs.
yeah.
I love
I
that, and
give that a
Amanda
rating.
did an amazing job.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we put that movie was
And you as well.
fun and
Your
stressful.
voice is so soothing. I'm like, you could probably hypnotize me anytime. But then I kind of have a thing with bald guys. Bill knows. Sir Patrick Stewart knows. Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm wearing a hat. I got to shave. Yeah, you can see the little size showing my age. But no, I definitely was like, I definitely, when we did all the kind of calm, like, okay, I was definitely making sure the voice was in that 12 o'clock mode where I was like talking like this, relax your mind, opened up, just talking. This is my talking, because I work
Have
in
you hypnotized
marketing.
anyone?
Not telemarketing. I work at data entry, and I talk on the phone all the time, and I talk like this.
Well,
But
it would
I
be
really,
handy to
yeah.
get funding for your projects, right?
Yeah. uh, yeah. So we try to do everything we could to kind of give it that sense of, you know, someone who has experience doing hypnotherapy and just trying to get into that mindset. It wasn't like, okay, here's a clock, look at this. It was like, yeah, relax, calm down, open up your mind, just kind of let your body go. Don't be so tense. And then obviously the hallway was the metaphor. The hallway played a significant role, which all the visual effects for that my buddy Nick Grove did, and he did an amazing job doing that. And that was kind of the catalyst of guiding us into Kimberly's, state of mind. And then and when you see the first part, when she see the number on the door, once again, it represents something. It represents birth. It represents death. It represents different things. And obviously, when you go into the flashback with her and her fiance husband, a lot of bad things, and that whole story is a horror movie in itself. Like when she
Mhm.
go into the flashback with, and Amanda and Jonah, the guy who played her, they're actually husband and wife in real life.
Yeah,
So
nice.
that helps to kind
Yeah,
of
I
get.
noticed a lot of the same themes. Like there was the red pin, the red room, the blood moon. Obviously, red was definitely a theme carried on throughout.
Yeah,
So I'm very excited to go back and see it again and
awesome,
try to see if I can put the pieces together a little bit more.
awesome, awesome, awesome.
Really quick, going into one of the comments from one of our viewers, it says Haley writes in, some edgy teen that's too lazy to do it themselves. Sounds about right for this century. That's a great comment because that's true. Speaking of, just kind of going into the hypnotherapy of things. So I did have a I will admit here, you guys heard it here first, guys. I did at one point have a hypnotherapist, and I am embarrassed to admit, but I never nothing ever happened. Like I would just close my eyes, be like, okay, breathe, do this, do that, and I'd be like kind of like fidgeting a little bit. I'm like, okay, no, 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 I need to relax, I need to calm down. And I never got into that headspace, but this movie was so thought provoking because I'm like, what if I was hypnotized to have all these fidgety, and then it kind of, and I'm like, oh my god, so this whole time I'm just going through the motions, but I'm actually hypnotized. And like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it kind of, it's
Like, what
very
if we've been hypnotized our whole lives?
ooh, like
Yes.
Ooh.
it's just so thought provoking. I'm like, was I actually hypnotized or was I not? Oh my god. What is this? Am I real? Are these my thoughts, or are these what my hypnotherapist put in me? So it's like kind of interesting, but I don't really think hypnotherapy worked on me. But
Yeah.
I mean, if it did, I'd have shitloads of money and
You might have been trying too hard. Like, I want to be hypnotized. I want to be hypnotized. Oh shit, I can't stop thinking about that. And you couldn't
Yeah.
relax.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
think that's where my situation went wrong. I was just like trying to breathe, trying to focus, but then I was like kind of fidgety with my hands. I'm like, I'm just been sitting here for like 30 minutes. I don't know what's going on. Like, why is nothing happening? And like, I was getting kind of frustrated. I'm like, am I supposed to like feel like a euphoria or like some sort of state of like nirvana or like what? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it was interesting. So this movie kind of took me to a place that I was never able to achieve. Thank God, because I I don't want to be in her situation,
Yeah.
killing people and doing crazy shit. But
Well, I mean, so I got a question for you with that, Luna.
mhm.
How was the person who tried to hypnotize you? Did they try to put you in a sense of ease, or was it just did it did it seem kind of like I don't this person's because the person has to put you in a kind of a state of comfort, in a state of
Mhm.
in order for that to even work. It's not just about you; it's about them guiding you. They're the guider. They're guiding for you to get to that.
Yeah, so maybe it was one of those telehealth Zoom meeting kind of things,
Oh, okay.
and that didn't work for me. I don't know if it was like the technology barrier. It just
I personally feel like when it comes to something like that, because I know that we're in in a place in
Zoom.
the world where we
Yeah.
communicate this way, and for stuff like this is convenient. It's easier. I would love to go to Florida, but we can do this, and that works. But I
Yeah.
personally believe if I'm doing any type of therapy session, especially something like that, I think there needs to be a sense of physical interaction with each other to kind of make it work. Because yeah, hopefully the person got ain't breath ain't stinking, but you want that person close to you. You know how close I was sitting, with Amanda's character, and I was like, I can, touch the arm, touch the hand, touch the. I did that wasn't like something I came up with. I did my research. I watched videos, and they was in this kind of sense of like, can I touch your arm? Can I touch your hand? Can I touch your? And then I think when they feel that kind of sense of like, when they can physically feel that sense of comfort, plus the vocal just kind of, you know, in your ear instead of digitally in a laptop, I think that would probably put you in a better sense of ease if you were to do it again and do it in a more physical way with the person, and you guys, it's you and that person in the room locked in together to open up the things that you want that person to open up for you, help you open up. Certain things of communicating through this, and you can only go so
Or
far
maybe
with
we
it.
could just
That's
get
just my
Luda some
personal thought.
peyote.
Huh?
Maybe we could just get Luda some peyote.
No. No.
She'd be
Well,
like, I'm a werewolf, roar!
No. But if I do go through that avenue again, I gotta make sure I don't do what this lady did, and I gotta make sure you vet your therapist, make sure they're not a satanic cult leader,
yeah,
whatever, you know.
yeah, yeah. That's quite helpful. Yeah. So you know, I don't know. I don't think I'll get hired to do hypnotherapy after someone watched that movie. So. But that's a good thing. That means I did something wrong.
In the movie.
Yeah, I was.
I'm
I was.
sure in real life you wouldn't, but
Nah,
it's
yeah,
hard. It's hard to differentiate like character from reality, because you have like for example Draco Malfoy's character in Harry Potter, right?
yeah,
Oh, you fucking hated that guy, and then now
yeah,
the actor, you're like, oh fuck you, Draco, like, but
yeah,
he's not Draco, he just embodied that character.
That's
yeah,
how it is
So
when they
you,
do it right, right? When
when
it's
they do
yeah,
it
done right.
right, you hate
yeah,
them, you're like, fuck that guy.
yeah.
So
That your job as an actor is to pretend to be something that you're not. You know, like if certain actors who constantly play bad guys are that way in real life, they wouldn't be actors; they'd be in prison. So it's like,
True.
I forgot the name. He passed away recently. Because he was in Harry Potter. He was in Die Hard. He was always playing
Alan
the villain.
Rickman.
oh, Alan Rickman.
Yeah,
Alan.
he's you see this guy. He's always played a villain in the way he talks, and then I seen Love Actually, not that long ago, and he was a good guy, but you guys seen that movie Love Actually?
I believe I have, but it's been a while.
Yeah, man.
I'll need to see it again.
It's
Yeah.
an adult Christmas movie because I was like, oh, maybe, oh no, my kids can't watch this. This is hard. It's not good.
Mm.
But no,
Oh,
but he's always played a bad guy. But yeah, people say yeah, he was a great dude in real life. So so that's if people see this movie and they say, man, Chris, I hope I hope I did a good job. I'm a bad guy. I'm playing a bad person that's troubled. I don't really think you. I think maybe you could feel sorry for me in some way because there's moments where I'm feeling a sense of guilt and certain things are happening or whatever. But like I said, there's a twist, and then you guys seen the movie, so I probably shouldn't have went as deep as I did with certain things, but you know, but yeah, in real life, I think I'm all right. We're all flawed, but I'm trying.
yeah.
I'm trying to be the best. I'm trying to be the best. Well, I'm in a rock band called Invisible Cartoons, and we play music called Smile Rock. So, we play upbeat, positive, danceable rock music. So, yeah. But I like horror movies, and I like playing bad guys because they're fun.
Chris says Rickman is
Oh,
better
yeah.
in Galaxy Quest.
By Thor's hammer.
No, that's a great one. That's a great call out. Yeah. But that's awesome. So you do a lot of things. I also see that you do music, like composing and stuff. Did you
Yeah.
do some of the soundtrack for Evil Lurks?
Yeah, I did. All the weird stuff, all the weird, intricate sounds, and just craziness. That's me. And then when I need like a cello and I need some guitar and I need this and that, I call on my like real musician friends. I usually get my tape recorder and just found sounds and weird shit and then just, you know, tweak it in my computer and say, all right, I got some stuff. you know. And I'm really into like it's a bunch of composers that I'm really into that I really like. Can't really name them all, but I could talk about their movies. Like pretty much a lot of the movie with Ari Aster, Hereditary and Midsommar and Lighthouse. I used a lot of influence from a lot of that music to what I want to do. And the movie Mandy with Nicolas Cage. That I
Yeah.
took a lot of the color aesthetics from that movie to create because I wanted to make it look grimy and older. I didn't want to make it look all 4K and clean because I don't think horror movies should look that way. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I like experimental electronic stuff. I love Trent Reznor. I love the scores that he does for movies, and yeah, he's one of my influences. And then I just gathered up all my friends because I got a lot of musician friends, and they helped me out. My son is my son is in the credits because he was banging on the piano, and I decided to say, "All right, cool, you're in the credits."
Aw.
And I just the
Well,
bass,
John Carpenter works with his son a lot, so
yeah,
hey,
and it's awesome because John Carpenter, he composes most of his movies,
he
so it's kind
started
of
somewhere. I'm sure he was just like, "Oh, what's going on?"
yeah, yeah.
Oh
So
wait, that's cool.
yeah, I'm in that like long cigarette, wool sweater. Like, man, music's everywhere, man. It's all around us. It is. I recorded myself yelling in a vent, and then I told my buddy, "Hey, tweak this," and then I put it in the movie. So it's a lot of different elements and toys and weirdness that we added. So yeah, I was a music supervisor. I composed a lot of that stuff. A lot of the music, because the original cut of the movie was 2.5 hours. So I made about 48 pieces of music, and yeah, we did a lot of different things, and yeah, it was fun. It's a lot of work, and yeah. And eventually I'll put it out there because people are like, yeah, man, I like the music. I want to check it out because I don't have it posted anywhere yet, but that's the goal. Just put it out there because it's a lot of those songs I wrote 14, 15 years ago, and I was like, all right, I'm putting in the movie. I got a 2 hour movie, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna put it in the movie. So I started
You're gonna do like
composing
a
those.
special edition of Evil
Yeah,
Lurks, maybe
yeah,
you think?
yeah. I'm a and if you guys really like the soundtrack, I'll send you the copy of all the music if you're interested, and I'll put it
Mm.
your way. So yeah, it's because it's a lot of cool songs. Because I wrote some instrumentals and there's a lot of cool songs that I wrote in the that I wrote many years ago, and I said, all right, I don't know what to do with it, then I put it in the movie. So yeah, I'm really proud of that. That I'm a musician before anything, and I feel when picture and music is dancing together, it just makes the whole universe of it all even better.
I think so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear some of your stuff from your band too. So it's like happy, like I'm thinking cake, kind of like that. No?
We are fans of cake. I don't want to be that person. Like, I don't know if we could compare ourselves, but
Yeah.
if we say chili peppers, cake, fishbone, um,
Nice.
president of the United States, soul music, Parliament, hip
Okay.
hop. Yeah, we're kind of like,
Ooh.
I think when you listen to it, some people say Frank Zappa, because our keyboard
Sure.
player's a nut and he just do all these crazy stuff. So it's just like we're kind of all over the place. And our music videos are very colorful and just warped and crazy and all over the place. So I started out making music videos, 'cause I got into editing pretty much. I started really getting into editing around 2016, and then I was just hooked, and then I kind of put that element into movies. Like Evil Lurks editing is unorthodox. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There's certain elements where it kind of comes off as a crazy music video, and certain things that happen, especially with the intro to the movie. Because when you hear the music, you can see how it's cutting with the music. Like I said, it's dancing with each other. And so I'm always dancing with the music, with the picture. That just kind of how my minds work for making music videos. But yeah, I try to get in where I fit in. And if no one else is around, I got to do it. So
You have to. There's a lot of interesting elements too in the movie, just like all the video. I noticed there's a lot of editing, a lot of really good camera angles. A lot of the cinematography was really stunning, a lot of colors and weird places. And then that shadowy figure always behind her, and the effects of the shadow figure were always super cool.
awesome.
And I have a message here from Dan that says, "Will Invisible Cartoons perform their what does it say? Smile Rock on a future Kiss Castles Productions film?" Ooh.
Possibly.
Oh,
And Dan is a fantastic guy. I know Dan. He's a great dude, and I'm looking forward. We're going to be working on some future Kissing Castle production projects together. So I'm excited that you came on board and came out and hang up.
And then Chris said, "So they are the red hot fishbone cakes."
It sounds like a nasty dessert. After smoking a joint, but okay. Now I want some fishbone cake. Oh shit!
Nice.
That's great. That's funny. That is so funny.
That just popped in my head. I'm like, I don't know if I want some fishbone cake, but that's cool.
Yeah. Your gastroenterologist would not be very happy with you with all those fish bones in your stomach.
No, they'd be like, "What is going on?" I was like, "I don't know."
Just
fishbone crazy.
You know what it was? A hypnotherapist, hypnotized you into thinking eating fish bones was a good idea. So
Yeah. See,
that's the only way it would work.
That's why when you do these sessions, get a receipt.
Get a receipt.
Yeah. Fish bones in my stomach. I can't laugh the way I want to.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
so what's one thing, Chris, that you learned from Evil Lurks and from this overall experience making the movie? Or I should say writing it or being a part of it?
What I learned is making movies is very tedious and it can be very long, and always bring 2 cameras so you can get more coverage, so you don't have to be on set for like no more than 8 hours. So but it was a great experience. I love it. Like people like, here's the thing, even from big Hollywood blockbusters to independent film, and I know people will look at famous people and say, "Oh, I get down with all their money." And so I'm like, making movies is not easy. It's not. Like trying to be as good as you possibly can with that, with barely any money, is tough. It's tough to make a movie. It doesn't take 90 minutes to make a movie. It takes months and years. Like we shot this movie in 2019. We shot for 6 months. We shot for 10 hours one day. We couldn't use the footage because we lost the location. We had to do like at least 3 reshoots. We lost one of our main actors. And we had to find a new actor 4 days before we shot. We lost 2 of our important, Amanda Winston and Bill Russell were replacements for people that couldn't do the characters, and we had to figure that all out. So yeah, we had 29 speaking roles and 14 locations with no money, and that was a lot for making this kind of movie. And I had to learn with Nick doing what he was doing with the visual effects with the hallway stuff. I did a lot of the visual effects. My buddy Eric did some stuff, and my buddy Josh did some stuff. But it took me 5 months to learn how to do visual effects to help out all the eyeball stuff. It it would take 2 days to do 3 seconds of eyeballs with all that crazy switching when, when Bill started getting eyeball-y and his eyes started changing up. That was probably a week of doing that one count. Count how many seconds that scene is, and that took 5 days to do. So just learning how to do this stuff. Like we didn't have money to hire people to do this and that. Like we had to take care of a lot of stuff on our own. So um I learned a lot. I learned that making movies is hard and is stressful and it's fun and it's stressful and it's fun and it's stressful. and But I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that, and it took us 4 years. I mean, it took us 3 years to get it in a theater for our premiere, and then it took us another year to have it on Tubi. Now we're here talking about it, and I'm working on my next film, and I learned a lot from that to this, and it's a lot easier. But I don't have 29 speaking roles. I don't have 14 locations. I have really good actors that know what the hell they're doing. And I'm working again with Amanda Winston and I'm working again with Bill. So
Yay.
I put them into place and say, do stuff. And then they do it. And it makes my, because I know what I'm getting from them. So I don't have to worry about it. So is you got to have a better understanding. You have a better understanding when you're making film the first time around compared to I've done mostly. I mean, all I've done is short film. I mean, short films. You could do a short film in a weekend, but I'm still doing the same because I don't have a lot of money to make these movies, and I'm doing them on the weekend. I'm like, okay, I got this Saturday I can do. I got this Sunday, or I can do this and that. Okay, we're gonna film 2 days. We're gonna film 2 times this month, 3 times this month. I mean, that's how it works. I mean, that's why it took us so long to film everything and reshoot everything. We had to reshoot some things, and then we had to figure out a lot of things. But regardless of what happens with that movie, I'm so damn proud of that movie. I'm so proud of what we accomplished. I don't watch it anymore as much as I used to because I was there constantly watching it. Because it is a long. It's not a it's a long movie. Even with the edit, it's still an hour and 44 minutes. So I'm when I'm putting it's not mine anymore. It's the world. So when people like you guys, it's beautiful when you guys break it down like you do because you are paying attention. And this movie ain't meant for every, if you're looking for blood and gore and all these other things, I'm like, yeah, this ain't a movie for me. I don't want to be like too deep or whatever, but it's a horror movie, but it's a drama. It's about a woman who do a lot of things in her life. And we watch horror because we want to escape the realities of our own horrors in the world. So we don't want to be watching something that's like, yeah, man, this is too real. Like we want Art the Clown to split this chick open because it's funny, it's fun, it's not real, it's bullshit. It's a haunted house. Like someone jump at you, you're like they're not gonna kill you. You just like they just scare you a little bit. So that's kind of where you at. But I like that.
A lot of us like horror movies that make you think as well, like Night of the Living Dead. That movie, just especially the end, you're just like, what? Like, wait, what? Who's the monsters here?
Right. Right. Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff I like to watch. When as an artist, you come first. I'm gonna make something that I want to watch, and hopefully I get a handful of people or 1,000 or whatever to follow suit and see, and we on the same page. I mean, yeah, I made them. I helped make a movie that was about someone who was going through a lot of shit in her life, and it became what it became.
So tell us more about your next project, Chris.
So my next project, I'm working on a movie, and once again, I'm working with Amanda Winston. She's the star. I'm working with Bill Russell, Caitlin Stack, Dennis Newport, Jason Matniskis, who's been my friend forever. It's called Vic Effects, and it's It's another psychological horror about a Foley artist, a person who makes sound effects for horror movies, and she gets hired to do a horror film. That becomes more than she asked for. So a lot of things that happens within this movie that she's creating sound effects come into her real life. So another thing where it goes into, you know, a different world, and then it approaches her into her reality kind of feel. But
Ooh.
it's like it's a mockumentary slash anthology because she's making all these movies doing sound effects. So right now we're creating all the fake movies that we're doing as she's working on the sound effects for 'em.
Nice. So
So
you
and
can
all of them.
have your short films as well.
Yeah,
You have
right. And all of them relate to things that's going on in her. All of them is a metaphor of things that's going on in her life.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Now the biggest question of the day, is Bill going to do this in the next one?
Probably not. No, well, we already shot his stuff. We already shot his stuff back in October, so he didn't do it. But the next movie that we've been talking about doing, you'll probably see him doing something. He'll probably be like this because he plays a drug. He's gonna this movie I'm working on. He's playing a drug addict. So there's some overdose moments.
Chris says, very cool approach. That's a unique one. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I,
I mean, once again, I watched a lot of documentaries about Foley artists. I didn't really see a lot of movies based on that subject. So I thought that would be fun. Plus, it's a movie about making movies, and it's like all these fake movies I'm making. I'm making a slasher. I'm making a sci-fi horror. I'm making a folk horror. I'm making a gothic horror. So there'll be vampires in there. So so it's definitely I'm paying homage to Alien, Predator.
will there be fantasy horror for
mhm.
Luna?
Yeah,
Huh?
fantasy
Will there
horror.
be fantasy horror?
Okay? So what's your definition of fantasy horror?
Fantasy horror would be fantastical creatures. You got your Draculas and your werewolves and your vampires. It's just fantasy.
So I have so one of them is, I guess I would call that gothic horror. So it's a vampire. It's a
Ooh.
vampire who falls in love with a cyborg.
Oh, kind of. Ooh, so it's
Yeah,
gonna be
Nice.
fantasy sci-fi horror.
yeah. So
Ooh,
the one
that
we
sounds
just
sexy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
A
it's
little steampunk in there. I like.
yeah, and the cool thing, I'm really into I'm really into like post-apocalyptic,
Ooh.
type stuff. So so this one, yeah. So the one we just shot, that was a more sci-fi that was more of a sci-fi post-apocalyptic, like kind of an aliens predator kind of vibe with that. But this one, the one with the vampire, they're actually once again, I got a husband and wife because I need a moment where the cyborg is dying and she's caressing him, and they need a sense of comfort and stuff like that. So she's the vampire and he's the cyborg, and they're husband and wife. So I was like, all right, that'll work. They won't feel weird.
Weird.
And I also
Yeah.
got like these two angel assassins um,
Ooh.
killing each other.
Ooh. We love assassins.
Yeah.
Now,
So
Dan asked, Jeremy Applebaum is the cinematographer of Evil Lurks and the upcoming horror film Vic Effects. Thanks, Chris, for the mention before. It's an honor to be working with you and the Vic Effects team. Ooh, what's Dan doing in Vic Effects, if you don't mind sharing?
Dan is our executive producer. Yeah, and yeah.
Ooh.
So Bill introduced me to Dan, and me and Dan have been having conversations. He's been following Evil Lurks and Vic Effects, so he's been very supportive of things that we're doing. So he's part of the Vic Effects team and the Kiss and Castle Productions team, and we're just gonna keep building on that. And yeah, Jeremy did a lot of work for Evil Lurks, and he's also the DP for Vic effects. So yeah, Jeremy, I like consistency, and I like things that I'm familiar with. So I'm always using the same people because, like, once again, when you learn from when you learn from making film and stuff like that, and you kind of look at your surroundings, it's like, okay, these are people that I want to continue working with. So the second time around, you get it, you understand what's going on, and that's what I'm all about. So yeah, Jeremy's a lovable. Is a lovable man who can put his eye on a camera and give you the best lighting and do some things. And he's he's a very chill guy, very like, stoic. And then he'll bust a joke like within the hour, and then he'll bust a joke and then he'll crack you up. So it's just like, no, we have fun together. That's why we continue working together. That's why we, gonna keep it moving. So, but yeah, Dan's been part of the team for a little bit, and it's good to actually. I feel professional now because we were just flying the seat of our pants making Evil Lurks. Now we got like a team, with it's a small team. I want to keep it small. I tell people I don't want to be Baskin Robbins. I want to be the little corner ice cream shop that people hang out with from February to October, and then they close down and then they open back up again. Because make small movies and make a big impact. That's what I'm trying to do, and make different shit. I'm playing with house money, man. I don't want to make movies just all right. Let me make this kind of movie that 18 other people just made. I'm gonna make a movie about somebody who makes sound effects for movies. See what happens.
I can't believe it's been such a pleasure talking with you, Chris. Time has just flown by.
Yeah, and I'm a gaffer, so I'm sorry.
Did you have any other questions for Chris?
Chris, before we let you go, our prying minds want to know, will you be coming back on the show once Vic Effects comes out so we can do a deep dive?
Yes. If you guys would have me back, if you guys have me back, I'm proud of what we did with Evil Lurks. It was a lot of work, and it's going to be out there. It's on Tubi TV. It's on Apple TV. It's out there.
It's on Plex also.
Yeah, and Plex as well. But I am insanely excited about Big Effect. I'm a better filmmaker than I was 5 years ago. And
I have one last question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
So, you've worn a lot of hats, right? You've done composing, writing, directing, acting, executive producer. Which position or job did you enjoy the most, and which one did you find the most challenging?
I like directing. I think directing is fun. I mean, music is just part of me. I've been doing it consistently since I was 15. So I'm not gonna tell you my age, so it's been a long time. But directing is good. Producing is challenging because producing is producing. You got to find the people, find the locations, make sure everything is good to go. I mean, it is what it is. This is promoting, talking about things, and I always call myself an introvert extrovert because I can talk, but I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be Hollywood and glamorous and shit, but I got to do things like this to promote my product. So yeah, producer, but that's why I have Dan, part of the Kitchen Castle and the Vic Effects team, to help me with that and help out. And yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, directing is fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. And we wanted to let our lovely viewers know what we have coming up for us next week. On the 30th of January, which is a Tuesday, we're doing our Shook launch party with Marcus, and we're so excited. I opened my favorite, my green screen is kind of blurring it out, but it is my favorite magazine, which is Rue Morgue, and they are featured at the bottom here. If you open it up, they have a 4-page spread all about Shook. So we're so excited for Marcus, and we loved talking with him. So we're so excited to talk with him more. And we're having some giveaways, are we, Luna? Some contests?
Yes. So it's not 100% confirmed exactly what it is. I just know that there might be something personally autographed and a few other things that Marcus and I are working on to kind of get the logistics of how we're going to do the giveaway. We're still ironing those fine details out. I should have something out for you guys tomorrow to release as to what we're giving away. So that'll be really fun for you guys to, be a part of and potentially win some awesome swag for, comics to add to your comic collection.
Yay.
Last but not least, Dan did say that he has potentially a trailer for us. So
Ooh.
let me throw it on while you guys were talking. I was able to find it. So let's take a look and then we'll wrap it up. That way
Yay.
our viewers have something to look forward to once Big
Ooh.
Effects comes out. I have not seen this yet, so this is going to be fun.
Oh, okay.
So, I will see you soon. The way the light sees the dark, and the dark sees nothing.
Ooh. Looks like Amanda's kicking some ass.
I love that. That's such a good line by Bill. That's such a good teaser. Thank you so much, Dan, for he said, "Thank you so much, Luna." Yeah, of course. It was such a great teaser. It gave you a little bit to like keep you wanting more, but not too much.
Yeah.
Some trailers I'm like, "Oh, why'd you give us the ending?"
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this was just enough to be like, "Ooh."
Yeah. Just
I
some
want
visuals,
more.
some crazy music, and then Bill talking at the end. What can you ask? I'll take that.
Ooh, yes. Oh my God. Thank you so much. I'm so pumped. Please, Chris, keep us updated as soon as you have more information that we can discuss on the show about it. We'd love to bring you guys back. Maybe Dan can join us next time also.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And yeah, so thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic
Thank
night.
you.
Kat, you wanna take us off the air? Do you have anything else you wanna mention?
No,
or-
I don't. Thank you, Chris. It's been such a pleasure talking with you.
Bye, Chris. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good night. Take care.